Just finished up a workout, and within this workout, what I did is I used all 6 variables of how to go ahead and change up the exercise to make it more challenging or to go ahead and just make your body have to adapt. I want to show you all 6 using a chest press movement that I put into my workout this morning. So I've got my bands hooked up over here. You can see I've got my red bands hooked up. This is really simple stuff, guys, really easy to do, but it makes a world of difference because it's going to challenge your stabilizers, it's going to challenge your range of motion, your flexibility. It's also going to make the exercise more challenging or easier, and you don't even have to change the resistance all the time. But let me take you through 6 ways to go ahead and tweak an exercise to make it different, challenging, or make your core have to work more aggressively. Here's what we're going to do. First one, very simple. You've got base of support, okay? Because we're standing and we're using horizontal vectors, we can change up our base of support. We've got several options here. Number 1, we could go ahead and go to a staggered stance. Typically, this is going to be the most stable. We can go to a parallel stance and do presses. Or what we can do is balance on one foot and go ahead and challenge. Now, because base of support is where we're going to get our balance, the more aggressive the base of support, the more challenging the primary muscles are going to have to work, in this case our chest. What's another way you can go ahead and do it? Well, guys, drop a band and go unilateral. Now you're offset loading. So now you're offset loading, which is going to really challenge your trunk. Again, you can go staggered, you can go parallel stance, you can go one-legged stance. You could bring both of those in. But here's what I want you to do. Think unilateral to get your trunk involved. From there, let's pick up both bands again, and let's go ahead and let's add in a step. So now we can step and press, or we could go into a split squat and press, or we can go into a full squat and come up pressing. Now the key to adding a step is when do you add the push. So when are you going to add the concentric movement with the lunge or squat? You're going to have to feel that out. Here's the rule. If it doesn't feel efficient, it's probably not the correct way. Another rule to remember is if you were to go ahead and use that movement to actually do a functional activity, for instance, chest press, I'm going to push a car out of the ditch. Am I going to go ahead and push as I squat? Absolutely not. I'm going to get into my squat and I'm going to drive. Think about how you want your hips to help the movement. That's always going to make a big difference. From there, our 4th one, we can add speed. All right, so now I'm going to work at really quick, accelerated concentrics. This is the safest way to get fast twitch muscles going. After that, why not change planes? Yeah, we could go ahead. It works better if you go unilateral, but let's change planes and let's add a rotational push. So now you've gone ahead and added rotation into the movement, which is going to change your core, your stability, your flexibility, all those things. All right? So that's the 5th way you can change exercise. Your final way? Very simple, guys. Add resistance. So I got 2 bands here and I'm doing unilateral. All I got to do is clip in another red band into the same setup, and guess what? I now have doubled my resistance and I've got to work twice as hard. If you got enough bands hanging out, you can just have multiple bands hooked up onto your bar. Just change out resistance. There you go, guys. 6 ways to go ahead and quickly change any exercise. Now, will these work for all exercises? No. There are some that you can apply them to, but in most cases, you can go ahead, change your base of support, change resistance, go to unilateral, add a step, a lunge, or a squat, add speed, or change planes of movement, and you can make an exercise a lot more fun.